What? Oh, what's this? Oh, yes, an old friend. You've seen this before, haven't you? Yes, it's the old Japanese cat's paw. Well, it set me thinking, though, what other cat toys have I got? And there's quite a few of them. Over the years, I've collected toys and novelties which display cats. These are just some of them. Some of them are very sophisticated, some very simple. This is a very sophisticated one which Rufus Butler invented about 10 years ago. It's a cine spinner, it's called. It's a disc which turns when it's suspended on a piece of nylon, but it's best done with a bit of light behind it or white sheets so that you can see the action. It's a kind of paling effect. Behind those black lines are 5 different pictures of cats in different modes and different poses. Make it go the other way too for a bit of fun. But the idea is to put it in the window, have it spinning very slowly in a breeze, and you see motion in it, which is delightful. Very, very nice little optical toy that Rufus invented, and they've been marketed quite well. We've had a big run with cine spinners. Nice one. Then going back to quite simple ones, here's a lovely one, I think by Alpi, an Italian company, make all these little boxes which have a bit of a little automata effect, because when you open the box, something happens. There's something inside here. In this case, it's a cat. What's a cat looking for? It's looking for a mouse, of course. A little mouse, isn't that sweet? And it's a very simple little rolling mechanism with a string, and as it's pulled back, up pops the mouse from inside. That's charming. I love things which are simple, almost folk toy stuff. Well done, Alpi. Here's a very curious one, and much higher tech from Japan. It's the old Hello Kitty series. I've got a lot of these in my collection. But this has got a very curious idea, because this bit here is supposed to pop up, but it does it automatically if you put it on something. There's a magnet hidden inside there. When the magnet's pulled downwards, when it's attracted to something like, well, there's a bit of steel, for instance, in a British coin. When I put it there, the magnet's attracted downwards, and it makes the thing pop up, just like that. Extraordinary. So as the magnet's being pulled down, there's a leverage system to make it pop up, and then take away the coin, and it pops down again. Very simple, very easy. Just a pity it's so small, it's almost one can easily miss the ingenuity of it. A nice one, that, from Japan. Cat toys. A very curious one, which I picked up about 30 years ago, is this one here. It's a lovely one here. It poses, it's got these little wiggly eyes, but these are magnetically attached, little ball bearings on the end of each of the limbs. The tail doesn't come off, but everything else moves, and you get it to pose and look rather coy, rather quaint. It's a very charming thing for kids to be able to move and play with, and little feet can go in funny directions, but they're supposed to go forward and like that. You can pose it, but something very easy for children to play with, and very old toy too. I've had that for many, many years. Sweet. Another curious one, again from very early days, is this one here. It's a sort of wind-up, but comes with a little baton. The baton's got a fish there and something else on the back. So we wind it up, it sort of makes a movement, but what it really likes to do is to follow something. Ah, yes, that's a fish, you see, it's a cat. Put a bone to it, and it doesn't like it at all. Look, he's turning away. Well, of course, there's a magnet in the head, and there's a magnet in the little baton as well. But fish, yes, wants fish, but doesn't want to have anything to do with bones, because it's not a dog. That's a sweet idea, isn't it? Magnet here and magnet here, and we're getting attraction or repulsion of it. Very sweet. These are ubiquitous all over the Far East. The lucky cat. There's so many versions of this. I've probably got about 6, I think, in my collection. But this one is a curious one because it's a one-armed bandit, basically. It's Japanese. It's got a squeaker inside for making a noise. It's got a list of different permutations it's supposed to get. And in the eyes there, we've actually got the two cylindrical rollers. You're supposed to do this and look at the score you get each time you do it, and see whether you're lucky and get, well, with 3 rollers, there used to be 3 crowns, isn't it? So it's a one-armed bandit, very strange, with the rollers under the eyes there. It's a very strange Japanese toy, which I picked up in 1986. For real feline philiacs, cat lovers, there's a deck of cards here you can have where all your cats turn into princesses. They're ordinary playing cards, lenticular playing cards, so as you move them back and forward, they change into a princess mode, and there's 54 cats all the way down to the jokers at the end, even though these ones here, look, that one's meowing, that's rather nice. But every single one is a picture of cats, and mostly becoming princesses, becoming super cats. And 54 of them. Goodness me, what a wonderful display for people who love cats. There's a series for dogs and the rest, but cats is one I was interested in. Here's a nice toy which I've had 3 or 4 versions of. It's a battery operated thing for cats and dogs and any pets that just love following things. It's got a vibrator in it. In fact, it's rather more fun to put it in a paper bag because then you can't see what's inside, just a plastic thing. All you see is something moving around in a bag. Whoa, whoa. That should prove pretty well irresistible to cats. They just want to chase after it. So there's a noise and there's movement, there's everything they can ask for, really. So that's going to be very popular with Moggles, the cat. There's a wind-up and a battery-operated one too from very early days. This one here, we've got a little kitten. It's called Kitty. There we are. And it's in a basket. Wind it up, and it moves along, and then pops open. Oh, oh. Every cycle it pops up like that. You see the cycle. And it's got a little turner as well. Let's see if it works a bit better. Whoa! And then fast. And it's got a little handle as well. So a very sweet little thing from very early days. And for small children, that's great fun for them to play with. And then another one they can play with is the battery-operated one, which I've got several different versions. More dogs and cats, actually, so it's a bit rare. But there's batteries inside here. Turn it on, and let's see what it does. Oh, that's nice. Sits up, poses, squeaks at you. Keep the fur needs a bit of cleaning over here. I should give it a bath sometime, I think. But that's a sweet idea. And for small girls who love stroking toys, well, that's got a lovely fur coat for them to stroke, even when it's been turned off, or something they can enjoy. So a kitten, I suppose it is, and it's battery operated, a very early one. The Japanese come up with some very strange little ones here. This is only just working, I think, but it does a bit of movement when you wind it up. Sekiguchi, I think, made a whole series of very, very small wind-ups. And it's got some hieroglyphics which I can't quite follow. Quite clever, actually, because the movement of this one's hand here is turning the ears of the black one, which is rather subtle. Little ears move, and this little one's tail moves at the back. All very small scale and very Japanesey. There's a whole series of those. And Takara did a tie-up also with Hello Kitty, because this is another Hello Kitty, making one of these wonderful eggs, which says, well, it's Hello Kitty there, but you get movement of the little musicians, I suppose they are, playing inside a musical studio. Very sweet idea, that. Now here's a very strange one. Most peculiar, this. It's a cat video. It's the old format, really, so it's hard to find something which will play one of these old-fashioned videos, but the idea is to put the cassette on the floor with the television, place your Moggles in front of it, switch it on, and then you've got 59 minutes of darting squirrels and flying birds and fishes and things flapping away and getting terribly excited. And they suggest that cats would absolutely love this as something to watch on TV, so they can also become couch potatoes. When they've had an exhausting time, perhaps they'll have this scenario here, have a little end bit here. This is something that Nauticalia came out with about 10 years ago, and they were very, very popular. Made in northern China, where apparently they made of rabbit fur, where they do as they think they have rabbit farms there for protein. And a friend of mine, a magician friend, gave me a little kitten in the basket to go with it. But when these first came out, they were completely brand new. It's called Mr. Chippy, this one. There's lots of history of it. I was able to play games with people, like putting it on a bus seat or the seat of a train, and say, "You can't sit there, it's my cat." And oh, it looks exactly like a cat, doesn't it? So there's a lot of lovely cat toys around. This is just a few samples of them, and there's more to come.